Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Tuesday Talks with Wendy. It's Tuesday, and we are not live. We're recorded today. And I don't know if you guys saw, but this month is all going to be dedicated to my girls. I have a group of wonderful, wonderful women that I am, so very blessed to be a part of. And we are all pretty much healthcare professionals. We are all the like-minded kind of situation, and we have come together, and I just wanted to offer an opportunity for you guys to meet them because they are in our community. And every Tuesday this month, I am going to be doing a little bit of an interview, and actually the last Tuesday of the month, I'm going to be offering an interview that was done with me to finish off the group of 4 of us. We are the wellness warriors, and we are determined to make sure that you guys have the tools and the opportunities from every aspect, a natural aspect, to really better your lives and come together and through natural means, holistic means, and just be the best that you possibly can be. So today I'm actually talking with Dana Irvine. She's one of my really dear close friends, and she's a fellow nutritionist. We actually met up a few years ago, and I don't know, I can't speak for her specifically, but I just clicked with her right away. We have basically the same kind of belief systems. We have basically the same kind of moral compass. And, really when it comes to our profession, our lifestyles, and really how we look at the stuff that we do, as well as our personal lives, we kind of just click along the same lines as far as that goes too. But Dana, let me introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about what you do and what we're here for today.
So, hi, thank you so much, Wendy. I know we've been trying to get together now since our last recording, and it's just so much fun. And this is something we've been planning for a long time. And life has just been busy. So I am a clinical thermographer, which means I travel across Northern and Eastern Ontario, Central Ontario, doing thermography services for a company called Thermography Medical Clinic. And I am a holistic nutritionist as well. I have been focusing on nutrition, number one, providing the ease and getting people back to the table and enjoying time in the kitchen again. But then with thermography, it's really kind of transforming into hormone health. Really. So that's been what's been falling on my lap. I have a couple of tools, but in my practice on Lawrence Street, I do thermography, I do nutrition, I do pain management or through the CQEX, and then I do detoxification with the CQEX and the foot detox bath. Yeah.
Oh, that's so wonderful. I know that you have your toes into a lot of different hands-on modality stuff, but you do online stuff as well too, right?
Yeah. So on my online community, I do a monthly nutrition program where it's a monthly membership, and we're just about to launch that tomorrow, I guess. And so for those who are interested, it's just a nutrition plan that we offer a grocery list, or that I offer a grocery list, prep plans, and meal plans for different things. One month we may try paleo, one month we may try keto, but in general, it's all very nutritious, very easy, and affordable or accessible, really, because a lot of people have a tough time with it. And then online as well, I do lots of little workshops. I have a hormone health workshop coming up as I'm preparing and planning for this spring, coming into the summer. And also have a couple of other good tools for other ladies for hormone health that I'm really excited to talk about at a later date. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So what essentially compelled you to become a nutritionist to begin with?
So Working with Dr. Price and Dr. O'Brien at Health Coach and Pure Wellness for 8 years, I ended up talking a lot about, or finding, not talking about, but also then finding the resources for the clients that would come in as I'm working with them or cashing them out. So thankful for them to allow me to kind of work with that. And I found it to always be a missing link with things, and people were having a hard time understanding what their different protocols involved and what that meant. So I was always very helpful in trying to provide that. And then with my own children's own health problems, with like being gluten-free or lactose-free, or recognizing the different things that I needed to do for myself as well, then you just kind of keep digging deeper and digging deeper. And then my sister became sick. And so we really dug into that aspect for my cancer protocol, where I really wanted to understand it more. I find myself certainly not sticking to one certain type of nutrition plan, because I truly feel that everyone differs extremely, not extremely differs, but it all comes back to gut and anti-inflammatory in my perspective. But for what people need and what works varies from each person to person. So I've had lots of fun learning about my DNA through Euphoria, and what nutritional supplementation through that, but also through the nutrition aspect, right? So like I specifically need much greater anti-inflammatories or antioxidant free radical breakers than most, due to my genetic markers that I have found out. And so it's all, for me, it's about prevention of disease. And then with the thermography, people have a really tough time with diet. Like I can say anti-inflammatory, but they have no idea what I'm talking about. So you're always trying to find that resource for them. Then I thought, you know what, I'm just going to become the resource. That's much easier. If they can't find someone to do it with, at least I can offer them some help and some hope with that. So.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I know that even just the modality of thermography alone is such an incredible tool to be able to use that visualization. I know within my own practice with the live blood analysis, it offers people that opportunity to use it as a baseline to work at improving themselves, and then coming back and having that reassessment done and looking from there too. So I know thermography is one of those really amazing things as well. But something like the foot detox or the CQuex, I know those, like, I love them personally.
Me
but
too.
for somebody that doesn't understand exactly the reasoning behind, or the how it works of, say, the CQuex, how would you?
Okay. So the CQuex is not a new sort of therapy or thought process. It all goes back to the early 1900s with Telsa, Nikola Tesla, with his coil theories and creating energies. So it goes, it's like a PEMF, like a pulse electromagnetic frequency pad, but on steroids, I suppose. Whereas it, with the ion cyclone science, which cyclone, right? And it's moving ions, right? So we're moving positive ions, negative ions. With that effect, it's really doing it evenly, drawing in and pulsing up, and then bringing it back down, bringing it up, and with the different frequencies. So the difference between this and the others may be that it's 30 different frequencies that it may work with, like the frequency of water, the sound or the hertz that comes from different levels of water affect the body differently, affects the environment differently. Grounding, or like the earth, is based on a certain electrical frequency, right? So this is science, right? And then the music is always based with different hertz to create different effects or moods. And they same premise with the singing bowls. You have, like, say, maybe 7, 5, 6, 7 singing bowls, and then you can have those singing bowl baths. But they're all based at different frequencies to emote different levels of change in the body. So with the Sequex pad, which can be a micro circulation type of therapy, or it can be promote circulation, moving oxygen to the different parts of the body. It can do some anti-inflammatory work. It can just promote movement through the frequencies to the different areas in the body that it needs. So there's many different, there's 30 different, wave patterns. I have 15 different programs set up for different things, but for muscle relaxation or bone building, those are scientifically proven, PubMed or journalist, medical journal information. It's not new science, and it's just that it's conveniently put into a pad. You rest for 30 minutes. And then that you want to continue eating well. And what the great thing is about it is just opening up the opportunities for your cells to either absorb nutrients better or release toxins better. It allows the bones to build stronger, or it allows the muscles to repair. And those are all, you can go to Sequex Europe to find all their information, all their science research information, or Sequex Canada, find all of their scientifically backed. This is a licensed device from Health Canada, so it's not like we're stepping out of bounds or anything. But I make no claims. Your nutrition, your emotional health, and your physical health all play a huge role when you're trying to heal the body, no matter what thing you're using. This just allows it to sort of gives it better potential to do those things. So you can't expect, it's the same thing when we eat food, right? Or we want to lose weight. We can't expect to lose weight if we're not eating well, if we don't think right, and if we don't move ourselves. So it's like, can't do one without the other, girl. So yeah, that's been fun. The foot detox, again, works on the same sort of smaller scale premise, where it's exchanging positive ions for negative ions that are created in the chemical reaction within the water. So many of you see all those really gross foot baths with all the slime and grime in them. One, it can represent the chemical reaction that happens with the metal plate, with the salt water, and the electricity. That's what it's supposed to do, but it's creating a negative ion in that, so that we can promote the exchange of the acidic positive with the negative to promote that change in the body. Now, does the white foam represent a lymphatic issue? I can't diagnose that. I've not done any testing on you, but listening to what you're talking about, understanding what your difficulties are and your health challenges, it certainly is a reflection. But I'm going to talk to you about dry brushing and about what you can do to continue the momentum. Really good with both units. You really don't notice a massive change in the body unless you're doing 3 or more. It's a good way, and unless you're being intentful on a detoxification process or a protocol or a meal plan, a nutrition plan to promote that, to be intentional about it. It's a lot of fun. It can do great things. Many great doctors around the world do use that for different problems. Yeah. But they're fun, so that you can try them out. You can create a protocol. We can talk about that for food and nutrition supplementation. And then if it's something that, we're really suspicious about doing heavy metals, then we can do heavy metal analysis. But if you're actually needing to do a heavy metal test, you need to go to the naturopath, right? Mm-hmm. Or if there's other bigger things, you need to go get, those heavier tests from the naturopath. But I have fun in my office. It's a lot of fun. We do crazy things. Fun.
Yeah, I know. And it's so amazing. I do love these extra modalities, especially along the holistic end of things, because I know there's a lot of controversy. I know there's a lot of skepticism with regards to a lot of these things, but at the same time, I believe they're so very important because, first of all, they're not going to hurt you in any way, shape, or form. I mean, they're just not set up to be invasive by any means. But the thing is, it really does help people stay on the path with regards to continuing their protocols or continuing their health journey towards healing, towards reversing disease or preventing disease, even just something as simple as decreasing inflammation and detoxifying the body. It really does help to have these extra modalities because,
Yeah.
I mean, from my perspective, I find that people, if I give them protocols and set them up and give them meal plans, sometimes that's a little challenging for people to just implement on them on their own, because it can be quite a slow process. And then when we end up doing something like that's kind of fun, like a foot detox, we can actually see things. And even though, yes, I know that it tells us it's not a specific thing, but I mean, it does give us that visual, that little extra push that we have or that we
Yeah.
need towards getting, the big picture. And I believe that it's so very important. I mean, even something like the CQEX, even if you're not a big believer in something like that, you're going to leave a session. And I know I've done it myself a couple of times,
Yeah.
just feeling like you're floating. It's like, it's an amazing experience.
Well, it is. I've had such a fun time with it, and trying to just encourage people to, one, increase blood flow, which is the microcirculation one, or just relax, right? So it's very hard for us to go lay on the ground, but it's easy to lay on a pad and have that same frequency and kind of be forced into that aspect of total relaxation.
Mm-hmm.
And or to stimulate other different activities in the body just through that. So I love it. I think the potential is incredible. The research that's coming out of Italy right now, even during their massive pandemic, the scientists still carry on, or the research studies that they've done are just sort of finishing up and they're wrapping up, and they have time to put their theories together and their hypotheses together and then pull in the fundamental research. But the science of the CQEX or PMF therapy is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, even within my practice too, I mean, I really try to work with that mindset, that parasympathetic nervous system end of things. And because we are so hyper stimulated these days,
Yeah.
with regards to our increased chaoticness, I mean, if nothing good out of this pandemic comes, at least it may be giving us a chance to slow down a little bit, because we have such a hard time to slow down, and we almost have become desensitized to the fact that we are hyperstimulated at all times. So even though we know that we should be doing these deep breathing exercises, even though that we know we should be sitting quietly for a few minutes, putting the phone aside, walking in nature, all these different things, we have a tendency not to do it unless it's actually scheduled in. So if coming and scheduling an appointment with you, it's almost forcing us to do that, to relax, because we are paying for that service. And
Yeah,
sometimes,
exactly.
unless we're paying for something, we don't take the time to do it ourselves.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I
I
don't
try
know for what reason,
and
but
sometimes the clients will want to sit and chat, and then other times I just really want to give them their time and space just to become aware of where it's stimulating the body or how it makes them feel, or just to have a nap. That afternoon nap theory gone out the door, but I think after this 2 weeks of pandemic, now 2 more, everyone's going to do an afternoon nap and understand the importance of that, right? Everyone's
it's those
gonna
habits we get into.
exactly, right, good or bad.
Yeah.
But it's certainly bringing back it was funny driving around last night. I had to go run an errand, but it's so calm. There's no cars. It's like everyone shuts down early, and it really brings you back to the old school attitude of like, yeah, we are closed at 6 o'clock at night, and we may not open on Sundays, and all those things, because we're so rushed and we're so demanding. It'll be an interesting time after this is all said and done. So
Yeah, it will. And like I said, not for a bad way, but I mean,
no,
almost for a good way, because of the fact that it's forcing us to slow down.
Yeah, well, the bad thing is the economy effective things that I don't think we can truly comprehend, nor do I want to comprehend the impact fundamentally, like infrastructure, fundamental, where people's money's coming from. That's a scary thought. So,
Yeah.
but anyways,
Yeah.
we must carry on, and we must learn from our lessons, and we must, build our bodies to be better machines, really. And this is a perfect time to look at where we're falling in allowing our body to be the best that it can be, right? It's all about that. We learn that from mind, body, soul aspect, right? So it's like learn more, be more, understand more, eat better, do those things, but we're all doing it in such a hurry, right? That we know that, keto will do ABC, but not functioning on the aspect that you are to bring in things to parasympathetically calm the body so that it will reduce inflammation and it will bring a state of calmness. So everyone's being forced to now, but sort of, other than the
Yeah.
heavy drinking at night, but
Yeah, that's increased a little bit. There's got
I
to bring
think so.
some balance into that with as well. I know, I think we all kind of have that same thought process of mind, body, soul. With me, it's my three pillars of menu, mindset, and movement. I know you have a very, I believe that mindset or that mindfulness or that soul or emotional aspect is so very important in all of our practices. It's something that we can't do without. It is part of the holistic framework that we work within. And I know with you, your spirituality is something that is so very near and dear to your heart. And I wanted to see if you wanted to talk about that a little bit because
Yeah.
it is
So,
very
I mean,
specific.
I think it was probably my 4-H background, head, heart, hand, and health, with 4-H, and that started as a young kid, from rural Ontario. But that still transpires for me today as in spirit, mind, body. Sometimes it's soul, sometimes it's nutrition, right? I kind of incorporate that into my 10 before 10 kind of program. When I talk to you or when I talk to clients, I want to capture those aspects to understand where their stress is coming from, where their inability to heal comes from. So is it spirit? For me, it's God. And I'm so thankful to be surrounded by such a great community that I'm involved with, that we incorporate prayer, daily prayer at our church. But now that even through this pandemic, we incorporate Zoom sessions so that we can all get together and be focused and then do specific prayer needs for people from our congregation and things that are on our heart. And I think that works in any sort of spirituality. You are to be intentional, right? You are to think beyond yourself, and you are to be intentional with your prayers and thoughts and meditations so that you can give people the opportunity to change spirit to spirit in that aspect. And if you're not if you're not, then you're really being you're keeping that self-centeredness around you, and you're not invoking change even for yourself to go beyond. The mind goes as well. And so even with spirituality, when I'm talking with women, even with thermography, and I'll make a mental note of it, and if I'm doing their follow-up call, or if I'm doing their follow-up in office, I will ask them what their faith may be if I am hearing something, right? And then I'll want them to at least be intentional about it.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be intentional, more focused, more intentional to be into my prayers in the morning and my quiet time and reading the Bible and those types of things. But if you're claiming to be something or believe in something and you're not doing those things, you need to work on that, because it's a fourfold system, right? So you can eat all the really great stuff, you can practice great exercise, and you can work on many things. But if you're not grounded onto something, I feel people waver too much. And that's a discussion I've had quite a bit with people and other practitioners as well. They're like, there's no solid ground. At least hold something accountable to yourself so that you can be intentional to pause and meditate and breathe and give to others, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that compassion, right? Because we all need to have those types of empathies, or be empathetic to other people. In the mind, again, it's about not just stress management, but it's about, are you having the proper nutrients?
Mm-hmm.
Is your body aligned? Is your head aligned? Are you still suffering from a previous, concussion, or what's holding you back? So thermography helps us identify sort of some stressors in the area. But these are questions I'm going to ask you anyways,
Mm-hmm.
and then genetic testing can also, or some genetic testing can also give us an idea if you're going to be predispositioned to free radical damage, or understanding also that leaky gut means leaky brain, and those are different things. It's just as important to have that, to understand that level, or that, it's all encompassing.
Yeah.
Mind, body, your nutrition. Is it, are you doing massages? Are you doing lymphatic work? Are you doing, chiropractic or osteopathic? And that's why it's important for me to have key people within my community that I can trust and refer to, right? So I've worked really hard at that. But the nutrition point, and that's again, it'd be very specific or very broad, but changing something will, always result in a sort of end goal positive, whether it's losing weight or you're non-reactive as much to food, right? You reduce your inflammation, then that can do that. And again, it's just a lot of fun being able to talk to people and find the missing link of things, right? And that's, in that mind, body, soul, spirit, mind, body. Soul work for me goes along with spirit and mind, in that it's like, do you have joy? Are you being compassionate?
Yes.
Are you kind? Do you laugh? Do you love? Not only all those things for yourself, but all those things to people around you. And for me, when you're talking soul work with people, it's a matter of the level of forgiveness that you're capable of doing just as much, right? And then I also love that aspect of emotions to gut health, or emotions to organ health, that I love playing around with and having fun with, and just giving them that thought process. Like, oh, could it be this? And then asking key questions in the liver. It can be a variety of things. It's asking the right questions, or listening to the answers they give to have that insight to ask the next question of how much anger do you have?
Mm-hmm.
And is it the right vehicle or source to get rid of it? So like I can see someone thermally and see that they're still super stressed by the patterns on their body or the level of inflammation. So, when they're my clients, I will ask, what they're doing, what their nutrition, their food sensitivities, or what methods are they using to reduce stress. So if they're telling me that they're doing yoga every day and they still don't look good, then I'm going to maybe ask them to try something different, because they might just be avoiding it by mindlessness, rather than either walking through it with a professional counselor, or they need to vent better through kickboxing or boxing, right? So they always laugh. And then I'm always like, well, have you ever tried it? Maybe it's more fulfilling. Maybe you actually burn off more energy. Maybe you're able to beat the anger out of something, right? So it's always fun to be able to talk about this with clients during our initial sessions and follow-up sessions. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it gives people a different perspective. I mean, from a holistic end of things, it is a different perspective than from a conventional medicine kind of look at things, where we just look at test results, we look at symptoms and then go from there. But from a holistic end of things, we always look at their whole life, what and who they present into the world, what's going on the inside, as well as the biology and the physiology that's going on around them too. But that's not what makes the person who they are. It is, like I said, all encompassing soul, spirit, the people that we have relationships with, how we talk to ourselves, a big one, the mindset part of things, as well as the stuff like the nutrition and the movement and all these different things. And it's so very important on every level. I'm glad that I know all of us in this field, we all kind of have that same thought pattern with regards to that, but it's always kind of nice to see everybody's perspective on it. Just before we finish up here, I just wanted to ask you really quickly, I know there's a lot of myths out there with regards to a lot of the stuff that we do, and I was wondering if you could just like shortly give me a little bit of a debunker.
Yeah, absolutely. So
something for like nutrition, what would be one myth that people think about, and then something that we could think opposite of it?
I'm not going to give you keto. No. Just kidding. I may. Depends.
That would be mine.
If you want to fast lose weight, or if you have brain cancer, or if you have something Alzheimer's or epilepsy, those are things that are scientifically proven to really assist with that.
Yeah.
Short term, yes. Nutrition is really important. It's important for multitude of reasons, right? Your immune system, your overall longevity, disease prevention, many things. But it is not the only answer. It needs to be encompassing of quite a few variables. Mm-hmm. I will still send you back to your doctor if it's something out of my realm. Mm-hmm. Like we're not, or nor will I ever say that. Mm-hmm. Same with medication. Nutritionists won't tell you to not take medication. That's something you need to discuss with your doctors or your pharmacist, right? Yeah. These are really vital things. I think with the CQuex or with the other toys, right? Other little modalities that we use in part of our thing, it is not going to cure you.
No.
It's going to allow the body to be better.
Yes.
It's going to allow it to become better, right? Same as nutrition. It's going to allow you to be better. That's what we're trying to do, is give your body the potential to change and to become healthier. Thermography. Thermography is so much fun. So it's been around a long time, but it does not replace a mammogram. Perfect. Or an ultrasound or an X-ray, because those are very specific fundamental tests to get the right answers.
Yeah. What
we do see is the metabolic process, or where inflammation lays, or where the root of the inflammation may be stemming from, like a tooth, or like a urinary tract infection that you have no pain or no symptomology. Mm-hmm. But the pattern of the body says so. Then we're going to tell you to do ABC. In a perfect world, it's used as part of an adjunctive. It's used alongside with, so that you have a better understanding. And I think in all of this, in all of these things, and the reason that I started it right from the get-go is because I want people to identify for themselves where their body's weaknesses lay, where the potential for change can come when you're looking at things from fourfolds, mm-hmm. so that you can live a longer, healthier life and not live in disease.
Yeah, perfect. I love that. So just to wrap up, where can people find you and how get in touch with you?
Here and there and everywhere. No, to the north, to the west. My clinic locations are located on thermography.medicalclinic.com. right? My personal practice, Divine Wellness, is divinewellness.ca. On Facebook, Divine Wellness, Dana Facebook, Dana Lee Irvine, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, all those different things. I'm super excited just to sit and chat with some people, just to say what's going on and how can I help you. And if I'm not the right person, then I know in my team people who I have. I'm really, really excited to with my new program, Living with Intention Transformation, is a hormone program that we get to talk about libido. We get to talk about being a hot hormonal mess, because, you know, that's what I am. I'm not a hot hormonal mess because I've been working on it hard. But why hormones? Why are they so important, right? So I really look forward with the Living with Intention program to talk about health, hormone, what to eat for hormones, talk about libido, and talk about detoxification, how stress, how your inflammation all play a huge role. So it's an incredible program. It's a 6-month, it modifies to what your needs are, but and the biggest or the best one would be the 6-month program, where we have thermography imaging before and after, where we work on a 6-month hormonal program to talk about hormones, perimenopause, food, detoxification, libido, and male, how your husband or wife or husband, is or wife, how all that plays a role as well in understanding sexuality, understanding relationships as we change to become the wise women that we're meant to be.
That we are. We just have to tap into it.
Yeah, it's very awesome.
Thank you so much, Dana. I appreciate you taking the time to connect and, provide my audience a little bit of perspective about where you're coming from. And I will actually put the links to all of your different places that we can find you in the comments there. And I am looking forward to talking to you again soon.
I hope so, as well as with my group as well. I thank you so much, Wendy. It has been a blast, and I'm sure that we will do this again with another exciting topic.
Oh, we will. We will. I think this is going to be the start of something that we're not going to be able to get away from too soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
So much, sweetie.
Thank you.
Too.
Bye.